fire, like you have so many great ideas. And even this morning I sent Erica like the biggest like dandelion I've ever seen. I was like, have you ever seen a dandelion this big? And just how you're just really aware when you're outside. So that those conversations come really easy.
I wish you had a DSLR and magnifiers because I would have loved that.
Yeah, I've never seen a dandelion that big. It was like kind of creepy a little bit. Now that I think about it, like, why are you that big? And what? Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of how I had been using live streaming, and I think it'll be more of that. I'm going to start doing more, lunch and learn kind of things, about how to help people. Middle management. That's my heart space right now. Middle managers get such a short end of the deal. They have all this expectation when they used to be the worker, and now you're, in this supervisory managing, type role, but you haven't really been trained for that kind of leading, and you haven't really been able to set your own self up to be resilient in different kinds of ways. So like the heart of that middle manager, because I was staff in the military, so I understand the expectation of leading up and leading down and leading your peers and still having to go back home and lead there and have a relationship with your friends and all of this stuff that makes you the person you are at work and at home. Yeah, so that kind of stuff, it'll be more of that kind of talking.
So is that all going to be free or paid?
There'll definitely be some free elements because people just need to, people like you almost have to create your market, because right. You almost have to start the conversation, or not even start the conversation, just adding to the conversations, yes. Even when the conversation's like, dude, are you drinking water? Right. Like, do you even drink it? And then the negative impacts that can have when you walk around in a state of dehydration, right? Like, because you're not going to think as clearly, you're not going to sleep as well, your cells are not going to regenerate, and you're not going to be as good as an employee as you could be, or entrepreneur, husband, friend, because you're freaking thirsty. Come on.
Yeah. So how do you move them from over here on the free stuff you're doing all the way over to the paid stuff? So what's your process to go from, obviously the free stuff is building your reputation, getting the word out, exposing people to your ideas, but eventually we need to move people into a paid program because we need to put have beanie weenies in our cupboard and afford to eat, but
not in my cupboard.
So what's your thought process? Yeah, that's kind of,
so it's to have
I'm doing these down home Southern terms here, so
right, but I know what beanie weenies are. That's why I know I don't want to eat that.
Okay.
So,
or spam, yeah. Yeah.
I love spam.
Okay.
I was in Hawaii, and they take spam to a whole nother level, but I digress.
Okay.
I
That's
think
another topic for another day. Yeah.
Exactly. And I could talk about it all day. I love food. But to talk about, have these lunch and learns, or where you're talking about a topic around leading, or you're talking about a conversation around being able to take good notes in a meeting. You're having these conversations, and be able to have them on my platform, even like on my Facebook or on my LinkedIn, and be able to use those basically as a commercial, as some of those training, coaching, mentoring things that I can do, that I can customize specifically for your organization. So I think just being able to give a person or organization, a company, a place to go to experience you, to see if you even like the way that I communicate. Do you like the way that I teach? And just being able to provide a commercial basically for people to come and just kind of learn, or even stalk a little bit as I'm, dripping out this content, and them coming to the point where they realize, okay, I need more, and I just want you to create something for me and my organization.
I need this in my life, and I didn't realize before now how bad I need it. Yeah. Yep. So that's really what you're trying to create with the free content.
Yeah, because people don't even know. Like, you don't know what you don't know.
Right.
You know, and that's kind of, yeah, just kind of what I'm doing, giving people an opportunity to kind of get to know me, build some rapport that way, and see if they even like it, you know. And if not, then if you are someone, or even if you know someone, so you're like, okay, well, this isn't it, but I know someone who could use, that kind of lesson in their organization.
Now, do you have like besides the free events, do you have a lead magnet where people opt in, or do they need to register for your events, or how do you capture your people for, or addresses for your email list, or do you even use an email list? I'm assuming most people do.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
what's your process for that?
So what I'm doing right now is today or tomorrow I'll have my landing page for my oh, looks pretty. So I'll have my landing page for my interview series, which is basically a stretched out summit. And then they'll just sign up for it, and they'll be able to get the interviews, directly to their inboxes. But I'll have their email addresses, so I'll be able to be like, oh, here is the next interview, and then also, this one's going away. Do you want to be able, to buy the entire series, and then just that's what I'm doing. This is my very first. Well, this is my second summit, but this one is bigger. So just really being able to just gather the part that I get to work on is not just gathering the email addresses, but actively engage with those email addresses, and not in a creepy way either.
Yeah, I agree. That's important. Is just collecting email addresses doesn't do you any good unless you engage, because email addresses have a goodbye date on them, and if you don't engage, then people forget. They don't open your emails. They forget who you are or what you represent, and then your email list goes stale, and then you start ending up in the spam box, and so you want to keep that fresh.
Yeah, because some people, I'm like, what is this email address? What did I sign up for? And then some people, I'm trying to get a lot more diligent of like, is this the kind of content that I want to engage with? Do I want to, look at these people's be on their email list just so I can kind of see what they're putting out in their content? So I do some of that too, get on people's list just to kind of see what their weekly emails look like, or what their newsletters kind of look like.
I agree. Competitive analysis,
I
soul
have,
research.
yeah. I have SendFox. The SendFox has the free version, and they have like little templates that they give out about how to restart a forgotten email list, or a neglected email list.
Oh,
Yeah. So it's like, hi, just wanted to reach out, see how you're doing, hope you're well, stuff like that. And I've got a couple of replies, and I'm happy that I got replies. It's like people are not just seeing an open rate, but actually hearing back from people that's telling me how they're doing. I thought that was nice.
yeah. That is nice.
Re-engage, is that the term? So re-engage.
Yeah, I think that's it. So what are some of the benefits of having your own streaming channel versus having your own membership sites? Because I know we're talking about streaming and putting stuff out there for free, and we just finished talking about how you monetize what you're doing. So anybody using a streaming channel or having their own membership site? No.
I'm working on both those. So eventually, what I want to do is move into a membership site where the classes are there, and move people into a paid mastermind. And I think they are. What's the word I'm looking for? That I'm looking for. They're part of the same process. So the streaming channel would lead people to the membership site. So it's a progression. So the people come on the stream, they get something out of it, and they're willing to go and investigate your classes and your membership site, and so the membership site would include a la carte classes plus monthly mastermind that people could sign up for, and then if they're in the mastermind program or group coaching, we've had this conversation before. Probably more of a group coaching program is what it would be. Is it that they would then get discounts on the a la carte classes, and you kind of make it a package deal. So I see it as a progression from one to the other, actually. So and having a streaming channel, you still got to promote it and get the word out there, but it's a good way for people to get exposed to you, and if they like what they see, then be willing to pull the wallet out and or open up the purse, depending on your persuasion, and get that credit card out and sign up. So if they want more of what you got.
So do you use your? I was going to ask you, do you use your channel to lead to one thing? Like, do you lead your channel to lead to your trainings? Do you talk about your trainings, at the end of your streams, or is that? Do you intend to do that?
Well, that's or Erica. Yeah.
Any all
call to action. I don't. I've just been slack, but all my links that I have out leads to my show. Mm-hmm. Or no, that's not right. All my links I have out leads to an email list.
Okay, yeah. So hi you guys, how y'all doing? I'm sorry, I'm just
good morning
with clients all morning. Okay, so
that's a good thing.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Well, it totally did for the way that. Okay, so from my perspective, when it comes to streaming channels, it is totally about what your goal is. Like, you always have to reverse engineer. So, and also you have to realize that if you have a streaming channel, you have to be able to create the videos to make the channel viable. So video creation is super duper complicated, and when it's well done, right? So you have to make sure that you have, because you want to compete at a viable level, right? So there's two trains of thought. You're going to be like, I just want to put something out and eventually it'll get better. Or you can go like, I want to have an intro, an outro, transitions, music. I want to have good sound. I want to have good, all these different things, so that depending on what you're selling, right? So if you're selling a high-end product, you can't have just any old video, right? But if you're selling it just depends, right? So everything is about what your end goal is and what your product is. Excuse me, y'all. My dog thinks she's a star. Come on, honey. Say hi to everybody. Say hi. There you go. Okay. So this is BB. The whole kind of goal of things is really what you have to look at. So it's like, what's going to give you the most ROI? Because ROI is the most critical thing to anything that you're doing. So, because you're not in business just to be cute, right? You're in business because you want to make that money. So the point, in my opinion, is that, you got to be ready for what is happening and what is there, right? And what, where you want to take it. Because on a streaming channel, you can have it where it's pay-per-view, so you could put all your content on there if you're using a professional platform. If you're using YouTube, then it's a different story. But I think you also can have like password protected or paid channels on YouTube also. So it just depends. So you got to look at, based on the amount of work that it takes and the quality of the production that you want to offer, that's going to tell you what you should do. And I think too that membership sites are also a lot of work. You have to have the right platform, but you have to have a lot of storage, because depending on what your content is and how long you want to keep it up there, how much of it is available, So everything is about what investment you want to make in it and what you're going to be able to get out of it all the time. So there's no cookie cutter answer. So
what's your answer? What do you go back to?
Okay, so we actually have Roku Fire Apple channels. It depends on the channel. So we have one channel that we lead people to the website so that they can actually interact with each other, because it's more of a community type thing. And where we make money is by the advertising that we do. So we're not trying to sell anything to them. We have another channel that we send people to. Let's say our clients for that channel are actually the advertisers themselves. So we get people to go to those places, like, so go to a restaurant, a hotel, whatever, and then they get to take a code with them and for a discount. But it's just a way for us to know like how we're able to contribute to that customer. And then we have another channel where, well, we have several channels like this. They are private client channels, and they all sell like softwares or different things like that. So the goal for that channel is just to get people to go to that channel so that they can become aware of the opportunities for these softwares or trainings or whatever. So when you're like I said, it's always what's the end goal. So if you're trying to get people to come to you, you're gonna, if your streaming channel is pay-per-view, you're gonna use your marketing to get people to go to it so they can get that free intro couple days or whatever, so that they sign up. So and then on the flip side, it wouldn't make sense, because if you're gonna give people content on that's why I don't understand the whole YouTube thing. I know that people make money off of YouTube, but it's kind of like, is the ROI worth it, right? Because you have these people who constantly, it takes you forever to even get to the place where you're gonna make any money from it. So you've already invested heavily, and then yes, it gets you, popularity, but does it get you dollars?
Right.
So that, so it depends. Like, it could work for somebody if you are your brand, right? And you're just trying to get people to know who you are. But if you're trying to make money from it, I think you got to have a different approach to it. So what's your goal? What are you planning on doing? I'm asking you directly. I don't know your name. I didn't get.
Sorry, I'm not Yoda.
I love that. Go ahead.
Thank you. You know, I didn't have nothing to do with it. It just depends. So I'm looking at starting a YouTube channel separate from, so I have a Transition 365 brand, and that brand is more for corporations, for corporate brands. But I'm getting ready to start this lifestyle channel called The Successful Veteran. Yes, Erica, I have updated that name on YouTube. It's called The Successful Veteran, but it's more like a lifestyle channel. So it gets to do like stuff where I'm just kind of playing, to show that veterans aren't just crazy psycho, like we're real people, like we play, like we do stuff. And being a successful veteran doesn't just necessarily mean going into the GS system. It can mean entrepreneurship. It can be, when you're taking classes. It can be when you're loving your friends and families, like being able to properly communicate. Those are things that make you successful, and you can do those things as a veteran. So it's more of a lifestyle channel. So that channel is just like, look, y'all, we can be amazing civilians over here. So that channel is kind of more for that, just like me playing, living, that sort of thing.
So are you trying to monetize that, or what are you trying to do with that?
The monetization, I'm going to create a course for that channel. So for that channel, all things will lead to a course. So of like what it means to be successful means healthy eating, water. Water is a big thing for you. You might not know when we were having this drinking water, but drinking water, getting proper sleep, being able to know what your values are. Like that's super important, because if you don't know what your own values are, then you let other people impose their values on you, and you start going to jobs and stuff you hate that don't align with your values. You never took the time to figure out what your own values were, because you're used to having those imposed on you by the military. So and what is your vision for your life? And this doesn't necessarily have to be this 5-10 year thing. Like, what's your vision for the next 6 months? What's your vision for the next year? What the hell are you doing next week? You know what I'm saying? So really being able to be a lot more intentional. And so the course is around that intentionality of like creating your best life. A life.
What is the, do you know what your price point's going to be?
So right now I'm thinking easy peasy $597, because there's going to be just to kind of play it out. There's going to be like a group coaching element to it, because it's also about building community and not just having this course go out here and do it by yourself, because part of that is like having a community that supports you, and you get to play a role in that community too. So that's kind of where I'm thinking right now.
So I would check the numbers first,
Mm-hmm.
Because $597 is not going to be high enough.
I received that. And the reason why I'm starting that course first, just that price as a beta, to validate the information, to see how people are receiving it. So I'm very open to A and B testing, seeing what's hitting, what's landing, what's not landing, that kind of thing. And I know since I'm going to have this in-person element, that's my time, and my time, honey, is going to have that part. So I know that part is going to be more, but I really want to like have a really tight course, and just really being listening to what the people want, and extend the course out to include more information or less, because I'm not in the business of putting out information for information's sake. I really want it to be good. So I receive what you're saying. Yes.
Well, I'm gonna give you what I paid $10,000 to learn for free. Okay.
So, let me find a pen. Let me find a pen.
Right.
Okay. Whenever you're going to have a course,
mm-hmm.
you need to have like you need to create the most elaborate course that you can possibly create.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
and then you're going to break that course down into the steps that a person needs to go through to get to the end result of the course.
One second. Just make sure I'm not missing. Most elaborate.
Yes, because so think about it like this: you have a goal that you want. So your goal is to have. So I'm like all visual. Okay, so your goal. Okay, so your goal is to have a person to reach this point. So for you, it would be a successful, happy post military life.
Right.
So the first place that a person's going to have to come to for you is they're going to have to realize, well, you can have. And then after you can have, what do you do to need to get started? And then so you're going to put them on a path, right, to get to the top.
Mm-hmm.
And so then the thing that you're selling them is the whole package.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But what you want to do is, and this is where lead magnets and all that stuff come in. You're like, you want to know how to have a successful life after your military service. Mm-hmm. So the first problem is whatever the first part of the problem is, options. Okay, so you're going to know, so options for post-military service, right? So a lot of people getting out of service are like, oh yeah, that's definitely something that I would like more information in. So you give them that part for free.
Okay.
But after they go through it, then you're like, this is just one step in my entire program that's going to help you reach this goal.
Right.
So if you really want to reach this goal, then you're going to buy this whole product, this whole package.
Okay.
Okay. Now, so that helps you with, you don't have to, no matter what you do, no matter what you're saying, no matter what problem somebody comes to you with, you're able to say, I totally understand that. And I do have something that addresses this, what you're saying that you need. But the fact is, you really don't know what you need. And what you need is this. So it's like, yes, this is one step in my program. And if you just want to fix this one thing, fine. But when you are ready, or you need to be able to fix the whole situation, then you want to join this program. And $597 is not enough. You want to have that being like 5 and 6, 7, 10,000, whatever you need to do. You got to look at your numbers. I tell people all the time, I learned this the hard way. Honey, I learned this the hard way. So it is significant to know your numbers.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's so funny because they talk about that like all the time on Shark Tank, all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, you got to know your numbers. You got to know. I had no clue what they were talking about. Know your numbers. What they mean is you got to know what it costs you to get a lead,
Mm-hmm.
what it costs you to convert that lead into a sale, and how much is that lead worth you over your lifetime. And those are the numbers that make a difference between whether you are a hobbyist or you're in business.
Mm-hmm. You better preach. You better get on here and preach. I'm sorry. And so this isn't a different platform, so I can't see what is. It doesn't show our names like Zoom and things. So what's?
Oh yeah. Okay, I'm Elle Kersey.
Elle Kersey. L-E-L-L-E or L like L.
E-L-L-E.
Okay. Right. See,
Girl in French. She in French.
I can't make those assumptions.
That would be cool though. I could just be like, I don't know anybody who just had, like, you have people who have one name like Cher, but no, nobody got one letter. Like, I'm L. Loser.
Not L for loser. L for learn this. Okay.
Oh, honey, I have been through a lot of things over these last 13 years. I've run a skincare clinic in Greenville, South Carolina. And I don't know where everybody is, but I have gone through a many iteration on pricing and marketing and who to trust to do something for you that you can do yourself, but you just don't have time. And I've learned a lot, and I'm just like, I am always here for it. If you gotta, whenever you are in business, because one of my clients was like, you need to be a coach. I'm like, I don't like people that much. It seems. I mean, I like, but it's kind of like, okay, because people don't listen. Like you say, do this, and they're like, well, what if I do it this way? I already said what you got to do, or what my suggestion is. How are you gonna ask me what about this? Like, that makes me crazy. Like, I'm a terrible teacher. I'm like, I already said. My daughter will tell you, she'd be like, my mom already told me. You ain't no need to go ask it. She done made up her mind. That's it. So I would be a terrible coach.
Look, she said what she said. I said what I said. So maybe you're a consultant and not a coach. You're a consultant.
I don't know. I have no idea. I just know.
Like, what I'm telling you to do. This is what you're paying me to tell you to do. Do it. If you don't do it, fine. If you do it, fine. You already paid me for this. You paid me for this strategy. Here it is. Have a great day. I'm moving on. Now, if you want an active strategy, you're gonna pay me a lot because I really don't want to do it. Or I can have some.
Yeah. Because I don't understand. If you go to somebody for advice, and you can be like, I don't like that idea. Okay, that's cool. So what's your answer? Like, what did you ask me? I gave you the answer. Like, you got the answer to the test, boo. Like, so now you're like, but I want to give a different answer. So, okay, that's going to be wrong. We know it's going to be wrong, but you got to learn for yourself. I got you.
I don't want to learn for myself. I don't have time to learn for myself. That's why I ask questions and I get coaches, consultants, and I pay for stuff because I don't have time to learn for myself.
Yeah, it's hard. And then you learn, you lose so much money. Erica, honey, you on mute, baby. Yeah, you on mute. We can't hear you.
Sorry, not paying attention. But I want to throw in there what Nyota said about the $500. When me and my husband started doing wedding photography, we thought our concept was people who can't afford high-end photographers would still like a nice product. So we thought we were helping people. They ain't care. They didn't care.
They ain't here for it. They just not here for it. And it's like you think, because when I first started my clinic, I was like, this is the thing that I would do for free. Because I had this one coach back in the day, and he was like, find a thing that you would do for free. And I did. And I really was like, I would love to do this for free. So I was like, okay, so let me just give everybody let it be cheaper, right, than it should be. And that was a bad mistake because I was so booked. I was so busy because what I do really works. I mean, it's like you hear people, you hear commercials for this or for that. I never do commercials because I'm like, what's the point? Like, because I'm the only thing that I could say to you is going to sound like somebody else, and I'm not in competition with somebody else. So after a while, got to the crazy place where people were bringing their mamas, their kids, their daddies. So we were always booked, and we get referrals. I still get referrals when I close the clinic. Now, that's how crazy it is. So, but the whole thing is that I should have been charging a lot more money, like probably 10 times as much is what I was charging. And it was because I wanted to help people, and I really didn't need to have the money for, you know what I mean? It wasn't like that. And I was like, okay, so, but then I was working, I booked 40,000 hours.
Wow.
Of service. Well, that's how I got to become a quadruple master, but I got 40,000 hours of service in my belt and then we kept going up all the time. People like, I don't care here. You got to fix this. No, you got to fix this. You're the only person who can do it. Just fix this. So now so we closed the clinic and we were moving to a luxury brand. So now we charge like hundreds of times more. So, but that's the process, right? So you go through the process, and I had to learn all those lessons, and I am very grateful that I got all those hours in because I'm the only person in the world who has that many hours.
Yeah, go and put your contact information. I pay for stuff. Matter of fact, Erica, once you make us some kind of contact list for the people
there is a host and public chat here in Be Live. I'm not sure if you guys can see that, but most of us are in the host chat.
Host chat.
Do you guys see it?
I see it now.
Oh, hey. Nope. I didn't see that at first. I was over on public chat.
Oh, man. Okay. So hold on. Let me do it again because I was trying to, it don't let you enter and all that.
So I was told that I went to the event on virtual events and that high-end starting price is $6,000 and anything below is a low ticket offer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you saw Barry and Blue?
Yeah.
So you went to the second one?
The one in January, I think it was. I think that was the second
one. Yeah, that was the second one. I went to the first one.
Okay.
I love them.
Did you watch the recording?
No, I didn't. I didn't look at any of it. I mean, I didn't do anything in the second one because they aren't. For what we do, we don't. It's not the same. Like, So I learned a lot the first time. I super loved it, but then we kind of like how I do. Like my brain don't work like that, so I migrated to a whole nother situation. And but yeah, it's pretty awesome. I love them. I think that what they do to help people get ready and get into the space is awesome. And that, I guess what I'm trying to say is that there's lots of different iterations of virtual events. There's a lot of them. And you have to find like what's beneficial for your brand and for you. Um, I what we focus on is mid to high level, like targeted, where um, let's say the client, right? I'm trying to figure out how to where the person who wants to host the event. Like we don't host our own events, so where the client wants to, well, yes, we do. That's not true. Where the client wants to host the event and they need the support of hosting an event, but we don't get involved in their event. Does that make sense? Like, yeah, we do all the tech stuff. I don't care what you're talking about. That's not our part. You know, we can have people support at the, you know, kind of tech, But if whatever you're gonna host is fine, and we just are there for you. Now there's different levels of that, but and we make suggestions, of course, but we don't do, because we have a TV channel, a TV network, we don't, most of our clients are in a whole different space. They aren't trying to just have an event to kind of like sell tickets or whatever. They're doing it for some other reason.
I get that. I forgot
I
what I was
love
going to say about that virtual event on virtual events.
I'm sorry. I love them
But
though.
we go to the question that's on the screen. Using free social platforms to host your virtual summits, online events, or classes. I've seen a lot of people do the webinars to lead to your virtual event. I've seen people host challenges that lead to a virtual event, or they'll do an hour or 30 minutes on the free platform, and then they move you over to like a paid service. It's like, oh yeah, on the event on virtual events, they you didn't see this if you were there, but if you watched the recording, they had a live stream to YouTube. But if you paid, you got to participate in the breakout rooms, stuff like that. I thought that was neat. Do you guys use the social platforms for your virtual summit, online events, or classes?
I have one of them that I want to do. I am trying to work out what that's going to look like. Because it's my personal kind of thing. It's for Black girl hair care, so Black girl natural hair care, whatever. So I think that there's a lot of information that's being missed or miscommunicated, and then you have people who have never experienced like really good hair care, and you need to have a way to figure that out. So I will have to use social media in a major way on pretty much every platform. And I don't really know how to do it. I think when Barry and Blue did the first virtual event on virtual events, they just did a lot of free little lives. And that's how they got a lot of people to show up. But I don't know. It's just, I don't have the time that I would love to have to be able to dedicate to this event, right? Because it would be amazing. It'll be like, what's that? Sister to Sister used to do an event every year. You know what I'm talking. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
It was in Charlotte, wasn't it?
They used to have it everywhere. It used to be in every major city. I went to the one in Atlanta. But anyway, so but it would be, but I'm just thinking like when you have when you have your own event, I think social media and all that kind of stuff is critical because people are coming because of you. Like you want to make that personal connection. So like when you guys are training and teaching, those are going to be and we're super important because you need to people come because they want to connect with you versus when you want to just sell something. You know, it's different. It's like different. Like I said, you always got to know what your end goal is. So I don't know. You know, I'm not into cookie cutter answers, so that's pretty complicated for me.
Yes, I understand. We've always talked about Ingos before. It is we like to throw out random questions sometimes, but it's almost time for us to go. But I want to throw in this rabbit hole question because this is coming up. Sumo Day is coming. So the addiction.
Sumo, y'all.
Get your wallet out or your purse. So
Yeah.
Sumo Day, the app Sumo addiction. Is it real? Can you have too many SaaS products?
Yes.
Yes and yes.
I have spent 500,000. I went to this whole thing the end of last year trying to figure out. I've over the last, I don't know, many years. I've spent over $500,000 on SaaS products, ma'am.
wow.
I think I could have bought a neighborhood for that much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could have bought a lot of stuff for that, but that was so funny because I couldn't. That was the thing that broke my addiction. That was literally the thing. So I was like, because I have products that do all kind of stuff, but I don't have time to do them. You know, and then anyway. Yeah, it does a great thing,
Yeah.
but if you don't use it, and a lot of my friends are developers also. So they will be like, okay, so this is my new thing coming out. I need you to help support me. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, once you do it for one, you got to do it for the rest of them because then everybody's going to think you're playing favorite.
You don't have to. You can play favorite. You can do what you want. You can tell them no. You don't have to. Those are not your children.
Well, it was crazy because then it's always like, okay, so this is broken, and they're like, I don't know how to fix it. I'm like, okay, he'll go to code, right? Here you go, just go ahead and fix it, make it work, it's just crazy. But it's the life that I was living. I'm not living that life anymore. So you're right, you are very right. But that's just how I was feeling about it back then. Yeah. You live and learn.
In the chat, in our mastermind, we had some messages about there's nothing in that Sumo that we want, and the reply was that's a sign saying that we need to use what we have. But I'm still excited about Sumo Day. I probably don't have the money for it, but I'm still excited.
So what they sell it on Sumo Day?
It's a surprise.
That's so messed up.
But a surprise for what?
You don't know.
To see if you're going to like the deals they had. I did not care for the things they had on Black Friday. I was very disappointed. I did want Restream to come back, but I'm happy with OneStream.
You're not happy with what?
I wasn't happy with Restream, but I am finding happiness with OneStream.
I have OneStream. I haven't used it though. Right.
Well, it works with BeLive if you have that too.
I had no idea what it is. That's crazy.
OneStream will let you stream to 30 different platforms. So we'll Restream. Restream does stuff like BeLive, let you have the overlays like these questions are up here. Mm-hmm. And OneStream is still working on it, but I guess it doesn't matter because I can just use the RTMP to hook it up. And that's what I did.
Are you using Restream today or OneStream?
OneStream. I let Restream go.
Okay. Yeah, I did too.
Okay. So, you did? Okay. Sorry, my bad. I don't use any of those for that. If I'm going to do a production, I'm going to just use vMix. So I can stream to 1,000 places if I have the RTMP for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and plus, I need a serious professional product when I'm going to do something because I need it to work. I don't need no bugs. I don't need no problems. I done paid you, honey. Get it together.
Yep.
So yeah. When it's going to be something that's going to cost me that's going to cost serious coin, like I'm charging somebody serious coin. Because we do a lot of broadcasts, like international broadcasts, and so like even with as much as I love Air Meet, the tech side of Air Meet, they are like always working on it and ramping it up and stuff. But the problem is they want people to use. Well, when it first started, it was a computer program. It was like for computers. It was not for phones. And people want to go to these events on their phones, or at least if they started out and they got to run out for like a multi-day thing, they're like, well, I can't sit on my computer the whole time.
Right.
So then
Mobile is important.
Right. So what I used to do was build a mobile app to go along with the event. So now they have the mobile app, but people just still, it's like for our really high tech community people, we don't have issues. But for like everyday people who are not techies, they have a really hard time with AirMeet. So we have I don't know where I got it from. I got another one that's kind of like, I don't like using Zoom because Zoom messes with your feed. Like if you want HD and then it's too busy, then they want to move you down to standard. And I can't have that when I'm broadcasting. So Zoom was never a good option for us. So I have been in search of, that's how I even found AirMeet in the first place, because you have full HD the whole time. But I found another program. I'll send it to Erica. She can tell y'all what it is. I can't remember. And no, I did not get it from AppSumo. But it acts like Zoom in a lot of ways. The tech threshold is super low. What I love about it is instead of having to, especially for tech support, right? You don't have to, the person doesn't have to sign up. You can send them an email and it'll bring them in.
I want that.
That's nice.
I want that.
Okay, I'll tell Erica what it is so she can let you know. Because
people hate that they have to sign up again.
Like, yes, exactly. Yeah. And it works so great for tech support. So that's I'm always in search of, okay, so how can what I have, I learned, right? $500,000, but I learned that if you have the tool that you get has to fit into what you're already using. Because if you don't, you're not going to use it, because everything has a learning curve and nothing ever works perfect. And you got to figure out how to use it, which is why I just stuck with vMix from the first place. But vMix is a beautiful platform. I mean, if I had to pick one tool for streaming and couldn't have anything else, it would be vMix. It would
vMix is good. I use Ecamm Live on, which is pretty much the Mac. The Mac equivalent of vMix, but I agree with you. It's a great platform, and I know there's a lot of vMix fans out there. So much better than OBS, which is kind of esoteric and gets complicated for people to use. vMix is a little easier to use, but it's powerful. So.
Yeah, exactly. And OBS is open source, so you can get something on there somebody put on there, it don't work, or messes it up, and I'm like, I can't do it. I need, because I know good and well I can call the dude with the banana shirt. I can never remember his name. I can call him up on the phone or email him or something. Somebody's gonna get back to me because this has to work, right? And so that's why I like it so much. It's like it always works, it never fails. You can add all kinds of bells and whistles to it and it doesn't slow down or anything. So I can't.
Tech support is important.
I didn't even consider it until you mentioned it. I was very leaning towards OBS.
OBS is good when you're like starting, like, because you learn a lot about how to stream and all that kind of stuff for free, right? You learn all the kind of skill sets that you kind of need. But when you ready to go like professional and you need no failure. You can't fail. Like it's not just not an option. So that's why I'm like VMix is great. And then also I was going to say that when you like, there's a bunch of different things out there that seem like they're going to be a good fit, but then you use it and it's like, for real? I bought this thing and then what is it? Oh, hold on. I'll tell you where I wrote it down. I bought something and I just thought it was going to be the bee's knees for, Erica and her Nifty. That's that. I thought that thing was going to be the bee's knees. I'm still trying to figure out how to make that thing do what I want it to do. And I'm like, I was like, maybe that's not the right thing. Because we need it needs to work. It needs to be robust. Like because we have so many things going on. And I've been trying to figure out how to have it where people who work on whatever project they're working on don't get distracted by all the other things that's going on, but at the same time, I can do an overall look of all the different projects. I need that in my life. And I'm like, I don't want to have to write this program. I don't have time. So I've been looking and I don't know. So I'm thinking that Nifty might can do it, but because based on the way that it was explained, because they said that it does that, but it doesn't do that at the level that I need it.
So have you talked to them? You know, they're like those folks they're normally pretty responsive when you're like, yeah, when I was looking at your blueprint, like your roadmap, like what you had said was, but they're pretty responsive. Like, okay, I'm looking at the roadmap and you have this here, or it's not on your roadmap, but can you put it on there? And matter of fact, can I talk to you about it? Like they're pretty responsive.
Okay, cool. Well, I will check it out because I know I haven't. I literally like have been looking at it like 3 o'clock in the morning, trying to figure out how to get something.
And like you said, that you don't have time for that. And if that's what they said they were going to do, then maybe they just need like a. So when did you do it and I missed it? Like tell me, like.
Okay, I'll check it out because I'm just like, I mean, I think it's a good program. Don't get me wrong. I'm not like trying to knock it or anything. It's just at the depths at which I need it, I'm just like, is this really going to be able to handle it?
And they know. They're like, if it's not it, like, can you refer me to what is it?
Oh yeah, like, do you have an enterprise? And let me send y'all the projects and put it in there for me. I'll pay for it. That's always get me in.
That would be some good customer service right there.
Oh my God.
But we are over time. And I have to go.
She like, I gotta get off.
I do.
Okay.
But it was great talking with you guys about streaming. And I hope we can do this again next Friday.
I look forward.
I will do my best not to be late.
All right.
Bye, y'all.
It's always great to have all of you.
And
Have
see
a
you
great
again.
weekend.
Bye.
How to get off here?
Bye, y'all.
I don't know how to get off.
I'll just close it.